Hello everyone! School is back in session, which means you may be sitting in a language classroom or you're trying to find time to study on your own outside of school. Either way, whether you have someone you think is a bad teacher or whether you're trying to find time to do stuff and you get bogged down with work during the semester or during the quarter or whatever, and you can't find time to study your language, then all of a sudden you're starting to lack motivation because it feels like another chore, another type of homework that you give yourself that's unnecessary, then you feel like you want to quit. Well, don't do that. Don't quit, because you'll regret it in the end. So, if you need some tips to stay motivated, stay tuned. When it comes to staying motivated, most of the things I read, because as much as I like to make videos about advice or tips for language learning, or blog posts about it, as much as I like to write about and film about language tips, language learning, language advice, I also like to do my fair share of research and read blog posts or articles or watch other people's YouTube videos and see what kind of things I can learn from them as well. Usually what you'll hear when it comes to when you're lacking motivation and ways to get motivated are find things you like to read, such as articles that you want to read about on topics you want to read about, or find shows you like to watch, which I did a blog post on that like a few months ago. They'll tell you to do stuff and just live your life and do things that will make you happy, that will motivate you on your own. And while that is great advice, and I totally agree with it, and I follow that advice myself, there are some other things you could do to motivate yourself when it comes to language learning. One of those things being, watch other people's polyglot videos. If you're a competitive type, this might help you actually want to be better than that person. And while you're actually not in a competition with them, because most likely you don't even know this person, it's a healthy kind of competition that'll make you want to grow in the language that you're learning and say, I want to be the very best like no one ever was, Pokemon. Watching polyglot videos motivates me not to compete with other people, but it shows me, wow, someone could do this, someone like me can do this. Other people can do this who aren't native speakers of whatever language. And I think they had to work hard too. They didn't just wake up and overnight they were at that point. I also like to read about people's success stories. Sometimes you see it in the comments of blog posts, like I told you I do my research and I'll read blog posts. Sometimes you'll see it on a forum online about, oh, how did you learn Korean or how did you learn Russian? And you'll find out their success story, and those could be very motivating as well. People who just learned it at home or without going to the country or whatever. Another thing I like to do is look back on my progress and see how far I've come. For instance, I have videos on this channel of when I was just learning Spanish in high school and I wasn't at the point that I'm at now. I had a little bit more of an accent than I do now. I made some grammar mistakes that maybe I don't make anymore. Maybe I spoke a little bit slower. Maybe it wasn't so natural. Maybe it was a little bit more scripted. But either way, I see how far I've come. And I'm like, wow, all that effort actually really did pay off, even though it feels like a really slow pace right now. So then that ends up motivating me. You can also look at old diary entries that you wrote. For me, I always keep a diary. I've been keeping one since 3rd grade. I've filled up multiple diaries because I love writing. And recently, over the past few years, each day I'll write in a different language. So one day I write in Spanish, one day I write in French, one day I write in Portuguese, sometimes in English. And I only write one page because it's not really overwhelming. It's just one page about my day, whatever. And that way I get to practice, talk about something that interests me, and it's a win-win situation. Another thing you could do to motivate yourself, if you're also trying to stay in shape, is you could listen to a podcast, or if you're sitting on like a stationary bike, for instance, and you really don't need to move around a whole lot, you can study while you're exercising. So if you're sitting on the stationary bike, which is something that I've done in the past, especially in the winter when I can't go outside and go for walks, I'll use Memrise, which I talk about all the time. I'm actually not being sponsored by them in any way. I just really love this app and I think it's great and everyone should use it. But I'll use Memrise, I'll use Duolingo, or I'll just sit there and watch a show in my target language. So that way I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'm exercising and I'm language learning at the same time, and it gets your brain all active and working, and it's just great. Another thing that you could do if you want to stay motivated and still continue to study but not overwork yourself so that you get demotivated, because sometimes you get demotivated when you're doing too much at once, is study as little as possible but be consistent. So one thing you could do, which is what I have been doing with Korean, is do one podcast a day, study for 15 minutes to half an hour a day. It might not be much, it may involve more reviewing than actually studying or whatever, but as long as you're studying at least a little bit each day, you won't forget what you've learned, and at the same time, you'll learn new things, and little by little, it'll build up, and you'll get better. That way you won't feel like, oh, I'm doing too much, I don't want to do this at all, it's a chore. It's just a little bit of time out of your day each day, and that way you're still kind of motivated to do it because it's for a short period of time. Another thing I'll do is I'll write 10 sentences to put on italki for native speakers to correct when I write these entries. It's just 10 sentences. It could be about whatever. It could be about a specific topic, like a vacation I went on, or it could just be 10 practice sentences using the grammar that I have been studying in my lessons. Going back to the point on looking at old videos you might have made or old diary entries you might have written, you can also look at your notebook. If you did not keep a diary or keep videos of your progress, you could see your progress in your own notebook that you study with. You can look at your notes from the very first lesson to when you learn the days of the week or whatever, how to say hi, my name is, and then compare them to now, whatever you're learning, if it's something really hard. You could look through all of those notes from the basics and see where you are now, compare the two, and you'll notice you actually did make progress, and that you're still making progress even if it doesn't feel like it. I don't know, that's motivating to me. I don't know if it's motivating to you. One last thing that I want to point out, which maybe you won't all agree with me on this, or maybe you will, is it's okay to walk away. It's not okay to walk away forever unless you are truly done learning this language and you have zero motivation to learn it, like you've lost a reason for wanting to learn it, you don't need to learn it, whatever. It's okay to walk away for a little bit of time. When I would get frustrated with piano that I used to play, or a video game, or writing a story, it's okay to walk away for a little bit of time. Don't walk away for too long, or else that'll be counterproductive and you'll forget what you were learning. If you were in the zone at the time and all of a sudden you hit a wall and then you stop for a while, that's not good. But it's okay to walk away for a short period of time and come back to it. I don't mean like just wait an hour and then come back. You could do that, and if an hour is all you need, that's great. But if you need like a day or a week, it's alright to just go do something else, get your mind off of it, get de-stressed, get the stress off of your mind, whatever it takes. But don't make yourself feel bad if you do need to walk away for a short period of time, because it's not healthy to be frustrated all the time when you're doing something just for fun. Or if you're not learning the language for fun and you need to learn it, it's still okay to walk away for a little bit, because being stressed out is not healthy, period. So I hope you found this video helpful in some way. These are things that motivate me. Maybe you would have heard this in other people's videos, maybe not. Either way, I'm glad that you came across this video, and I hope it helps you get more motivated, and please share in the comments what motivates you as well. Alright, I'll see you guys next week. Bye! Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, remember to press the like button so I can know to make more content like this. Also, remember to leave a comment telling me if you like these kind of videos or if you want me to make other kinds of videos. Also, remember to subscribe so that you can know when my new videos come out. They come out every week. Also, you can check my blog for other content on travel and language learning, and you can check my Twitter for updates.